Good evening, everybody. So yesterday I promised a rant about our beloved New York Yankees. I don't like to take a whole lot of stock in the season early on until we get to June 1st. Yesterday was June 1st. I promised a rant. Unfortunately, my daughter decided to fall down, and we didn't know if she had broken her wrist or whatever, so had to push that off to today. This is kind of my first go around with this setup here. I know the lighting isn't ideal. It's kind of right above my head here. So we'll go with this and see how we do. But here we are at the beginning of June, and we are looking at a 30-25 New York Yankees baseball team. I don't think there's a Yankee fan, at least none that I know, that are happy about 30-25, third place at this point in the season. You're about a third of the way in. Again, June 1st is usually the first time I try to take a pulse. And the bottom line is this offense has no goddamn pulse, right? I'm going to give you some numbers here for the offense, and then I'm going to give you some numbers for the pitching staff. And, it's mind-boggling. It's disgusting. The on-paper look of this team, I don't know who's pumping that into the newspapers and into the media. Maybe it's Brian Cashman trying to save his ass. But this team is not performing anywhere near what the expectations are as far as an offensive standpoint. So we have a team batting average of 227. Now you might think, oh, well, nowadays everybody just swings for the fence, and that's fine, except for the fact that is currently 26th in the entire league. Okay, the batting average with runners in scoring position, I was shocked it was actually 21st in the league. I thought it was going to be lower. Be that as it may, it's still 21st in the league at 236. We've scored a whopping 207 runs scored, right? That is good for 25th in baseball. We are 27th in runs per game at 3.76. 207 is also the number of RBIs that this putrid offense has decided to treat us to. That's good for 28th in the league. We have 662 total bases. That's good for 22nd in baseball. We have only been intentionally walked 5 times. That's 20th. Now, you may not think that's a big deal. To me, it is. That tells me that nobody fears anyone in this lineup. There's just no fear of anyone, right? And the one guy that you should be afraid of right now, Aaron Judge, they can just pitch around him, not have to worry about the intentional walk because the next guy up has no pulse. Our team OPS, on base plus slugging, which is, one that everyone loves, 686, 20th in the league. This is not just this is all of baseball, right? American and National League. So there are teams with pitchers hitting that have better offensive stats than we do. Grounded into double plays. You'll be happy to know we're actually a top 5 team there. Second in the league at 52. We're doing that almost once per game on average. So, anemic, awful. This is disgusting. Stanton, Judge, Sanchez, all these guys were supposed to be mashers. Don't even get me started on Gary Sanchez. I don't want to hear any more defense of that fat, fucking useless slob. I'm done with him. Bench him, cut him. I don't know what you have to do. Find some bum on the street to come back up Higashioka. I will take Higgy every day and twice on Sunday for his defense alone. He may not hit any better than Sanchez is right now, but he ain't going to cost you any games either. The team is also 13th in home runs. Now you might say, well, that's not so bad. Well, it's still just middle of the pack for a team that's supposed to be an offensive juggernaut. But 13th in home runs, while 27th in runs per game, what does that tell you? Whole lot of solo homer bullshit. Bunch of hollow home runs we're hitting. Now, let's try to look at something positive here. The reason why we're actually 5 games over 500 at this point. The pitching staff. I mean, this offense, if you remove Aaron Judge from these numbers, we're in like the bottom 3 in everything. So, be thankful for Judge. For those of you that like to knock him, I've been harsh on him as well when he's been, mostly because of his health. But he's managed, he's had a little bit of trouble with that early on. For the most part, has been healthy, and he's performing. He's batting nearly 300, 13 homers. Take him out of this mix, and those numbers I just gave you before become so much worse. Move to the pitching staff. Ready for this? Team ERA, second in baseball, 3.18. Shutouts, first in baseball with 8. We are second in team WHIP. For those of you that don't know, that's walks and hits per innings pitched, 1.08. Give up a hit or basically we give up a hit or a walk each inning. Good for second in baseball. We're third in opponents' batting average at 211. Fourth in strikeouts with 538. Fourth in walks at 152. That comes down to a ratio of 3.5 strikeouts per every guy we walk. That's as a team across the board. Obviously, Garrett Cole, much better than that. But as a team, bullpen included, 3.5 to 1 K to walk ratio. If this fucking offense would just raise these statistics from being, 20th to 30th in baseball, just into the freaking mid-teens, be an average offense with the pitching staff the way they've been so far, we would be running away with the American League East. Instead, there is no fucking pulse. How long do you really think that this pitching staff is going to be able to maintain numbers like this when they're on the mound thinking they have to be perfect every night because they know this offense can't do shit? I'm not banking on it, right? Monty has been good, sometimes not so good, sometimes stellar. Tyone, he's still trying to work his way back. I know we got to give him time. Cole is Cole. He's every bit the ace that we signed. You're hoping Severino can come back. I feel like this pitching staff, as great as they've been to this point, a little bit of house of cards. One stiff breeze, one pull, and the whole thing collapses. And you couple that with an offense that can't hit its way out of a wet paper fucking bag. And this is a team that has the potential to fall flat on its face and underachieve like nothing I've ever seen. You can't continue to play like this. The roster is Brian Cashman's responsibility, not Aaron Boone's. Roster construction is Cashman, the scouts. Boone might have some input, but I believe Boone is a puppet. I believe Cashman wanted a guy that he can just keep under his thumb and control. That's what I believe. Boone probably takes the fall if this continues, although I'm not sure he totally deserves it. I think it goes higher than that, deeper than that. Maybe it's the ownership being a little bit more frugal than what we're used to as Yankee fans. Way too much with the analytics. Enough at looking at binders and tablets and all of this crap. Aaron Boone, you are, what is he, a third generation Major League ball player? Use your gut instinct. If anyone knows baseball, it's you. Tell Brian Cashman to stay the fuck out of the goddamn locker room, stay the fuck out of the dugout, stay the fuck out of the pitching staff, stay the fuck out of the lineup. Take that iPad, throw it out the goddamn window, take your binder, wipe someone else's ass with it, and go with your gut. It's enough. You have to find some continuity with this lineup. Now, tonight, they're starting Judge in center field. That's because he's trying to put hitters out there, guys who are actually hitting the goddamn ball. So you're going to have Judge in center, Frazier in right, and Duhar in left, or vice versa. I haven't looked at the actual lineup right now, but that's the outfield tonight. Torres has been a little better at short than he was to start the year. He's still not a good defensive shortstop. That's going to have to be addressed. I think LeMahieu needs to move to first. We have to find a way to get Glaber back to second. And maybe you trade Luke Voigt, although I like Voigt's fire and his passion. And once Gardy's gone, we're going to need someone that brings that kind of shit to the table. The bottom line is, guys, we got tonight and then tomorrow's getaway game with Tampa. We got to have both. You got to have both. You could probably survive a split, but then you have to go sweep Boston. Losing both to Tampa right now, and then possibly, if you lose 2 out of 3 of the Red Sox, this team's going to be in some really bad fucking shape. I've had it. I'm frustrated. It took me all day. I was happy to see Frazier get the walk-off last night. You will not find someone who wanted Frazier in the lineup every day more than me. I own that. And to this point, he's not been good. Flashes of it here and there, but the guy's batting, I think it's 186 right now. And that's up like 30 points. So he's actually been better a little bit of late, but still nothing to write home about. Listen, guys, thanks for listening. I hope you're all just as fucking pissed off as I am, because I've had enough of this anemic offense and a team that's only 5 games over 500 and is sitting behind the Red Sox and the Rays. We don't see the Rays again until like late August or September, so we've got to take our hacks now, and then we got to go beat up Boston over the weekend. It's that fucking simple. Can't do that. It may end up being a really long summer. Talk to you soon.